Hello, everybody. We're back after almost 3 months. Had a few things happen that put the brakes right on, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I like jumping right into the video and explaining what's going on. I have a special project that we've been quite a while going to do, and now we're doing it for Andy. I built a 272, 268, I think it was for him. Year and a half ago. I'm building a saw for his daughter, young girl, out of school, works with him, can't weigh 110 pounds soaking wet. She runs the ground crew. She does the groundwork. He is a tree guy. If you got a yard full of trees that need to come down, he's a guy down in North Carolina and gets rid of them. So that's what they do. So it's going to be a saw built that a lighter person or girl can run. Don't think girls can't run chainsaws. I've seen her running a 395. She knows exactly what she's doing. Heavy, but they're heavy for me, especially anymore. I am going to keep the compression to a stock saw compression, or fairly close. I need her to be able to pull it over easy. When you're doing tree work like that, you got to saws off and on and off and on. So you can't be saddled with crap loads. We build work saws here. I don't think I build hot saws. I don't. For me, maybe a little hotter, but just to play. I get bored, So compression is king. Everybody knows it. Let's see what we can do with stock compression ratio. And we are using the Titanosil highway cylinder. They're nice and bright and shiny. We're going to do something about that. From testing, we found that we want to break that shiny just a bit because, especially with the cable rings, they break in, but it takes quite a while, okay? We want that to carry oil up that cylinder, and it's got to break that ring in. So away we go. First thing we're going to do is prep the piston. So we might as well just get right into that. So let me get set up here. Now, if you see, now I want this piston to be fairly light, but I want it to be very strong. Okay, you see all these areas here. I'm going to break them edges. These are all places that there's stress risers about to happen. What that means is that you can form micro cracks. Sometimes you can't see them. We're going to get rid of the points. We're going to get rid of the sharp edges. We're going to get just a little bit of weight out of it. I'm not concentrating on making piston lighter as much as I am making the piston efficient. Yeah, single ring. I like a single ring piston the best, personally. But that's my opinion. So what we might just as well do, just for the whole fun of it, is see what this piston weighs in grams before we start. 84.9. That's not too bad, actually, 84.9. You could weigh other pistons and they're even heavier yet, but it gives a reference point. Now remember, this video is not about how light we can get this piston. I already know how light we can get it. We want this strong. This is what we're trying to do, is get strength. This is a work saw. It's got to run a long time. This girl's young. I want her to have this saw for years and years and be able to depend on it. And we will keep tabs on the saw, and we will be getting videos back. That I assure you. So let me get rid of this. Shut it off. Put my little bit of lid back on. Put it away. This ought to be a lot of fun. I haven't been out here in quite a while. A lot of times I'll just use a pair of pliers, pardon the hand, and I'll just kind of wing it. Get my pedal back where I like it. Old Iron Cat's out here with me. I come out here early this morning, light a fire. He was so happy you'd never believe it, because he just loves it out here. guys would probably like to see how I'm doing this, huh? Every little move might count. Let me get you in a better position. Okay, now you can follow along, I believe. I start just by breaking that edge. You see it right there, that big heavy one. Let the tool cut, don't force it. Okay, this first thing, do good work as good as you can do. Don't try to fix it later. It happens, all of us do. Okay, you see that where we're at there and how much we took off. Find me something to point with. I guess this whole screwdriver works good. Let me get a little bit of light over me. Okay, so see, we still have this band right in here, still present, but what I'm doing is knocking down these two high points to get it to match there first. Develop a method that works for you. This is what works for me. And it doesn't take very long to do this, but be patient and just let it cut. You can feel the high and low spots with your tool as long as you're not putting a lot of pressure, okay? Okay, you can see that we are nearly have that little spot taken care of there, which you see what we started with. Okay, just sneak up on this. Any sharp corners, round them. Like I catch the insides of these right here. You see what they look like. Round everything. Do not, period, even get near where your wrist pin goes in. You think you can fix it, but you can't. The piston's junk the second you touch it. I know somebody will argue the point. I don't care. I'm too old to listen anyway. You'll see hard spots in pistons and cylinders. When you get to them, just work them out real easy, you know. Now, my eyes aren't what they used to be, but what I look for is I get a light where I'm creating shadows so I can see the high and low places. I've got cataracts, so my time is probably short-lived compared to a lot of young builders as far as wanting to build. But so far, I can still do it. Now I'm going to make a few people on YouTube flip, but I've been building these saws a long time. I know what I don't have to do and what I do have to do. What works for me. What works for you, do that. I'm going to tell you a little something. The air comes up the bottom of the piston on these saws, and it flows right out right here, okay? That's where it enters the transfers. Now, you guys already know that's been here a long time. I leave a fairly rough, a mill finish, you know. I leave a fairly rough finish. Now, you can go in there and polish that if you want to. Guess what? I'm not. I know I don't have to. I will get just a little bit just to ensure that I don't have high and low spots. I'll just go in there and touch that, just see where I'm at. But I treat this like intakes and transfers. Air and fuel will move through them. I want that to stay in suspension. So I do leave a rougher finish than what other people would, okay? Now, by running my finger down there, I felt a band there that's high. A little more. That's fairly well where I like it. I'll do a little bit more. You can see the before and after. You're still thinking about airflow, okay? Flow is so important. Still thinking about flow here. So what I'm going to do is finish up the other side, and then we'll go back into some more of this here. And then I'll show you how to match it to your cylinder. Now, if you're trying to prep your piston, even using these highway, you know they're made in China, but they've actually, over the years, have gotten quite nice, actually. I really like them. But you got these sharp edges here, you know, top of your piston, everything's sharp. Bottom of your skirt right here is sharp. I get these little precision files, and they probably came from China too. And I just go around and work them areas out, okay? Just break them edges and feel it, you know. I kind of like that right there for doing this, you know. All you're doing is just going around. You're trying to hit it at like that angle right there. See? If that makes any sense. About that angle. You're trying to break them edges. You machine shop guys know all this. You know exactly why I'm doing this. And I'm going to do the other side, which is really, they're sharp, you know. Well, anything machined, you break the edge. Wherever there's friction involved. There's definitely friction here. You see how I guess instead of going in straight, it's easier to go in like this. You're on that edge, you're trying to break longer. Okay? It's tiny, tiny little things like this that I don't even think about. I just don't even think about telling you that makes the differences, okay? Even you new saw builders, I see there's a mess of you guys. Good for you. Don't take cheap shots at each other. Don't do you any good. There's one way to prove how good you are. Run your saws on video. That right there is that's the old drag racing mentality. The bull crap stops when you pull up to that Christmas tree. There ain't no joking. There's no bench talk. It's racing. You want to show me, and you want to show the rest of the world that you're good builders, run your saws in the wood. Get out there and cut some timber. Cut some trees. Take care of that tree that's in your neighbor's yard and get some videos exactly what your saws do. And if you can't do that, you're not going to get credibility. People have to see your product run in the wood. Now, you'll know when these are right. You'll be able to run your finger over that edge, and it'll feel nice, okay? Yeah, this is a lot of work. Do I do it on every saw? Yep, I do. This is the part you don't see. It'll feel, nothing will catch your fingers. Nothing will catch your hands, you know. That's what's nice about that. And you go right around the top of your piston, too, and break that edge, you know. This is where you got to be honest with what your abilities are. This is something anybody can do. I've taken a lot of pride in being able to show you guys where to start porting, what the numbers are, what they mean, and how to build a good saw. Now, can you, out of all the stuff I show you, can you alter them numbers or do things slightly different to go a little further? Oh, yeah, you can. Pack your lunch. Because I show you what there is easy to get without fighting, and it's guaranteed success every time. Now, you get out of the numbers I give you, you better understand how the motor works. Why is it doing what it does? Okay, that's what's important. Then you can build a better saw, yeah, but a lot of extra work goes into gaining just a little bit, honestly. After, I mean, I take that golden dime, I do. Get what's easy to get, what the factory could have done if they wanted to, and chase some of these areas here because they do become important, especially in these short stroke saws. The short stroke saw, that piston is really taking a beating. It really is. Just like short stroke race motors and V8s. Boy, I tell you, them pistons take a freaking heck of a clanking, don't they? You guys that drag race know. Yeah, remember the old 377, 378? If you got really crazy, you could take that 400 block and bore it 60 instead of 30. As long as you didn't go through water jackets, you were fine. And then you had a 383 the hard way. Well, I used to sit many hours building those motors. Built them more for circle track than anything. Oh, I used to sit many hours working on the pistons, getting things just right. What a joy it was. Now I'm going to go on to the next phase of this. Okay, now that we went around it with that file and then some very fine paper, nice smooth edges, corners are broke, okay. We have the inside of the piston done. As far as I'm willing to go. I don't mess with that bottom and right. Them bars in there for a reason. You stop and think about it. Now, you have flashing right on the insides of your windows in your piston. You can see it, see? I have to get rid of that flashing. That's the next thing. Okay, now one thing that's important, we got rid of the flashing, which you can see is gone all the way around. And I don't go any further because I'm going to tell you what, you have to maintain the strength here, here, and here. You start removing material in there and you are done if you don't know what you're doing. So I'd really rather you just got the flashing done and that's that. Yeah, I know race saw guys do this and do that. And good for them. But they're not building production saws that's got to live forever, are they? That's what's important to me. Now I'm going to get my little gram scale out, and let's just look at the difference. Now realize we're not trying to make it lighter, we're trying to make it stronger. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Let me blow this off. Okay, 81.3. I've carried these down to 78 easily and further, but I don't think it's necessary on this one, do you? Now I got to change my glasses. It's got to wear that I use some super x-ray specs, and that's some x-ray. That way I can see what I'm doing, but I'm fairly happy with this piston now. Tomorrow's video is about fitting this piston to the transfers. This is important, guys, because if you don't make this piston work in that cylinder with them transfers that them 272s have, it's a 61 Husqvarna with a 272 top end. I'll show you the whole trick to getting the whole thing working right, okay? And make a loyal work saw. But the problem is you're going to really like the results too. We will be running this in the wood on video, along with about 8-9 more saws that are done. I haven't bothered telling anybody about their saw. Well, some of them know, because it just gets people wound up. It's been tough trying to run saws this year with the mud. Now we got a freaking foot and a half of snow to deal with. It melted yesterday and today. It's going to be freezing, and it's going to be just tough. So, but we're going to get it in. I'm going to get it in. That's something that's definitely important. Now this goes to heat treat. I heat treat these pistons. I think I've told you about it. I know I have. You put this, after you've deburred it, chemically clean it. Chemically clean it. You're trying to get your fingerprints off more than anything, and the oils. So, you know, whatever, mineral spirits, lacquer thinner, enamel reducer, something good, you know. You can even use brake clean, you know. But it has a slight oil to it, but it'd be even, so it's not a problem. 450 degrees in a countertop oven for 4 hours. Okay? Get yourself a bucket of water, not just a little bit, but, you know, 2 gallons. You're going to take this sucker out of your oven, and you're going to just do this and drop that straight in that bucket of cold water. What happens, there's a process that takes place for aluminum heat treat. What it is, as the material heats up, you have just nodules when it's cast. It heats up and it lays down like this into platelets, right on top of each other. When it's real hot, 450 zip. But when you use air reduction, that means just let it cool in the air. It'll return back to what it was, them little nodules. We want platelets. That's very strong for cast aluminum. Very strong. When you drop that in that cold water at 450 degrees out of that oven, that locks that into platelets that just stack on top of each other, gaining strength. Right? No, this ain't my harebrained idea. Way back, a bunch of engineers had this figured out. It was way smarter than me, but I'm willing to listen to them. I know it's the truth. I know it. I know it works. Because you probably, if you don't go any further than I did, don't have to heat treat your piston. It's probably going to be better than, I guarantee, better than it was. But if you heat treat it, it becomes very, very durable, and you won't see the skirt wear, which also means you won't see the wear in a cylinder also. And that kind of neat. So I hope this video was fun for you. I haven't been out here much because I'm going to tell you right now, Christmas Day, I got very, very sick. And I stayed sick for 2.5 weeks. Yep, thought I'd have to die to get better. Well, in October, I banged up my left shoulder pretty bad. And I couldn't even lift a cup of coffee. I tried to come out here working. Wasn't happening. So we got a little bit of a hiatus here. It wasn't planned, especially after a hard year of hard work. I didn't need that. Now, we're good. We will be seeing more of each other. Thank you all for showing up. I have the best subscribers out there. I know it. I value you. Those of you that I have your sauce, I value you. Soon, very soon. We are making headway now. Goodbye.